Hey there and welcome back to my channel. My name is Heidi and in this video we'll be driving around Wellen Park, previously known as the West Villages in Venice, Florida. We're driving on Tamiami Trail / Highway 41 towards Northport. As you can see on the right hand side of the screen, there is actually a lot of new construction. There are many new communities that are being built as well as retail spaces. So this area is clearly booming.
Yeah, so there's a lot of new businesses in this area already. And I think, as you can see, there's going to be a lot more coming soon. I think it's going to be kind of like a hot spot where you're going to see, I think, people hanging out, even like coming maybe from Venice and the actual Northport area to, just hang out for the night or whatever, go to the spring training facility that you'll see in a second and do whatever.
Yeah, and what's actually interesting about this area too, now that you mentioned Northport, is that Northport claims this area as Northport, and so does Venice. And a lot of the houses there, a lot of the new neighborhoods actually have a Venice zip code and everything, but technically it is Northport.
Yeah, and I would consider it more Venice than Northport, at least as far as distance. Like, it's really close to Venice. Mm-hmm. It's just outside the edge of Venice, so that's my opinion on it.
This is West Villages Parkway, and it's called West Villages because this area used to be called West Villages, but they changed the name to Wellen Park.
Yeah, and as you can see a little bit earlier, when we made that turn, there was kind of like the sign for the Atlanta Braves and stuff like that, kind of signifying like this is an area like that's got stuff to do. And you could see like the shopping center that was on the right at that point, so maybe rewind to see that again. But we're heading right now. You just go straight down this road towards the Atlanta Braves new
training facility.
Yeah, it's like brand spanking new, really cool. You'll see it on the left. And you can even see here, like on the right side, there's like not a lot there right now. Or actually on the left side, I don't know if we passed it already or not. There's actually like a little tech school over there or whatever. But there's not a lot here right now. But you can tell like with the way they have the road, it's brand new with the palm trees set up lining it. And a lot of these like trees and bushes and all that, they just put it in. So you can tell with that and then all the bare land on the right, like they're planning on making this like a community. So this is going to be all like new. And right here is we're approaching the Atlanta Braves facility. You can see it on the left.
And it's called Cool Today or Cool Today.
Cool Today, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we've heard we're not really sure where to get into it, but there's supposed to be like a tiki bar there or something that you can go to. And just the facility itself is huge. They've got like different like a what do they call it? Like a field for working on catching ground balls and whatever. I forget all that stuff. I haven't played baseball in years and followed it as much, but there's a lot of different little areas to it. That's, so once hopefully the pandemic is gone and they make more use of it, it'll be something that, I think a lot of people, us included, will go to check out.
And this right here, it's all private right now. It's owned by Wellen or Wellen Park. And I'm guessing that's probably going to be more communities. Yeah.
And I think, too, like within this area, you'll probably see a lot more, from 41, the initial, more busy road we were on to even maybe over here, you're going to see, I think, a lot more like restaurants and almost kind of nightlife. I could just see this being more of like sort of a thing where like younger folks would want to hang out at night and older folks, too. But, I think Venice kind of has a reputation of not having a lot of nightlife as far as that goes. I mean, you got a few places that people will go hang out, but I think this would be more of a location for that.
Yeah, you can tell the way they're setting it up. It's to like be its own little thing. Like it's going to be its own little community.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely excited to see how it develops, and it'll be nice to have that option of another thing to do in the area. That's a little bit different. And, you don't have to go all the way up to Sarasota or whatever for something like that. But not to say that there's not stuff to do, and like, we're near Inglewood and we're near Venice, or we're in Venice. So like those do have things to do, but this would just be something
Different.
different. Yeah. And here's more of the facility, more up close.
Yep, you can tell that it's like pretty new and nice.
Yeah, and the size of it, including like all the practice fields and all that for like I can't think of the word. Kind of like batting cages, but they're not cages. And there's like infield practice fields. I don't know what the technical term is. Leave a comment because I'm sounding really dumb, so you can maybe let us know what it's actually called, those areas. But yeah, I mean that included with the actual like arena or whatever you want to call it. Like it's big. It's really big. It's impressive. One other thing I like about this entire area and a lot of the gated communities, but just this area and even I'd say Venice in general is if you look, throughout this entire video, you'll see a lot of sidewalks, which, for some states that you're from, you might take that for granted, but a lot of Florida, like when we moved down, we were really disappointed on like, it's going to be so nice and sunny. You can go out for a walk every day because we love taking a walk with the dog. And that wasn't really the case. There wasn't as much sidewalk as we had hoped. So it's very awesome when you see that being built into the community.
Right. Like when we lived in Wisconsin, so there, like every single house or every single street, I mean, unless you're like in the country, you have sidewalks. It's kind of nice. And on that same token too, like you were saying, this is going to be more of like that nightlife. I could see that being more pedestrian friendly. So like people walking from like maybe like bar hopping or stuff like that, it's easy to get around.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I mean, even in some pockets of Venice and Inglewood or whatever, you will see some roads that don't have sidewalks.
Or they'll have a sidewalk on one side of the street and not the other.
Yeah, and so like what a lot of people do is just walk on the road. And I guess for a lot of people watching this, maybe you're thinking like, well, what's the big deal? You can just walk on the road or the grass. Why is that such a thing? But like you don't want to get your shoes dirty or whatever if you want to walk your dog.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to walk with your dog on the road because now that becomes its own little challenge and it makes you not want to take as many walks and whatever. It's just, I don't know, little things like that.
Right. And when you're used to that being part of your everyday life, just like even just driving down and seeing a sidewalk, like it makes a big difference. So if that's what you're used to, like it does make a big difference.
Yeah. And right here, so just to jump in real quick with what you're seeing, that's like one of the shopping things. And then to the right of that, in the front of the parking lot, there's more. And as you can see ahead, that's a big chunk of land that's going to be more retail. So, I mean, you can tell they have very big plans for that area. And even looking further ahead, I think as you get further from that big open area, that I think is going to be housing further down yet.
On the other side,
yeah. So, I mean, all that ground is just cleared for acres and acres. It's just gigantic. It's almost like looking at in Wisconsin, like a field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a cornfield when it's not growing. Like it's that much open land. It's huge. So this restaurant you're seeing on the right here, we went there. It's a coal-fired pizza, right?
Mm-hmm. It was pretty good. And it was pretty cool inside, too. Like, the little theme they had going on.
Yeah. Actually, what did we get that appetizer? It was amazing. I don't remember what it was. Do you remember?
No.
It was like Philly cheesesteak bites or something like that.
Deep fried or something.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were, but they were really good.
So this is office spaces. We hadn't seen this before. We just took a turn to see what was out there. So it's kind of like in the middle of nothing.
Yeah, the road seemed like it wasn't going to have much on it,
Yeah.
or maybe lead to one of the newer communities they were developing.
Yeah, so we were surprised by this. I mean, it looks kind of like an old school building to me.
Yeah, and it's just really random. I was just sitting in the middle of nowhere, too. There's really nothing. I mean, it's in that area of this, all this new stuff that's being developed, but you could tell it's been there for a while. So at that time, there was nothing around. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
So it was kind of
Interesting.
weird. An oasis.
So here we're driving back. You can see the Braves facility on the left, and then we're taking a turn here, driving towards the communities. This one's Island Walk, which is a gated community here in the Wellen Park, West Villages, Venice, Northport area.
Yeah, // name the city.
It's technically Venice, and that's how it is on their address is Venice. So.
Yeah. Give it a couple more months and maybe Orlando will claim it too. Yeah, but
yeah, you can see here you'll see a lot of new communities as well being built, or a lot of this land being cleared. And we even saw like hills of like a lot of dirt.
Yeah, massive hills, like to the point where it almost looks like a little mountain or something. It's just like, holy cow. Just to see it there, because most of Florida is so flat. I mean, you got a lot of trees and whatnot, but you don't see a lot of changes in elevation like that. So,
and here's one on the left, a hill that was obviously man-made from all the clearing that they're doing.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know why it's so cool, but it is because you just don't see it much in Florida, so it stands out. And yeah, I mean, even like you could tell like how just like new everything is. Look how new the trees like look fresh and well maintained, and the roads and the sidewalks.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and turn all notifications on. Also, don't forget that you can contact me if you have any questions or are looking to move to the area. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.